Hello, my name is Clay Cook and I'm a second grade teacher and technology troubleshooter at Maryville Elementary School in Georgetown, South Carolina. In 2015-2016, I was named the Georgetown County School District Teacher of the Year. But before that, I was a Master's of Instructional Technology student, just the same as you are, learning about this thing called the portfolio and just what it would mean for my completion of this course. So here I am to give you some insight and tips into beginning your portfolio process. Let's make no bones about it or pretend to downplay the importance of this portfolio. It is the most important thing you will submit in this program. It is your culminating effort, your chance to show off all you've learned during the course of the program. So let's start at the beginning. As you know, you have several artifacts that you must put into your portfolio in the form of student work samples, a video showing your skill at technology integration, a video demonstrating your technology leadership, and a plan for your future career. However, while this is important, it doesn't need to be the first thing you think of. So first things first, your portfolio is going to be digitally based, meaning it will be housed on the web. While that is simple enough, the actual site that you will use to host it isn't so easy to decide. There are many choices out there. A few of the most common are Weebly, Wix, and WordPress. However, which one to use is simply a matter of comfort. Look at all your options. Decide which ones look like they are worth pursuing and practice with it. See which ones you feel most comfortable with and which ones make you feel like you meet your vision for the portfolio. Once you have decided on which one you want to use, go ahead and create your portfolio shell. This will help you get the look and feel for your portfolio while also serving as a placeholder for your artifacts. So you have your hosting site decided upon. Now it's time to think about the content that you will house there. Look at the requirements one by one and not as a whole thing. Breaking them into smaller pieces helps you better understand and see what you are doing. So let's look at each section now. Student work samples. The first list of requirements for a portfolio are at least 2 student work samples. These students can either be children or adults depending on your situation. When choosing which samples to use, don't immediately go for the artifacts that show the best work. Look for the ones that show the true impact of your teaching. If you decide to choose one student to use samples for, don't necessarily assume that your highest achieving student will give you the best artifacts. You want to choose artifacts that show growth over a period of time. If you choose a student who starts out technologically savvy, it doesn't leave much room for growth and it doesn't show the impact your teaching has had. If you choose to use samples from several students, try to be as diverse as possible in your choices. I'm not talking about racially diverse. I'm talking about choosing artifacts that show individuality. People looking at this portfolio know that the students aren't cookie cutter, so don't try to make your artifacts be cookie cutter either. Technology integration video. The technology integration video is where you will show off your teaching ability. Technology integration is a hot topic in education today. However, there are some things to remember as you sort through potential artifacts. 1. Be sure the technology isn't the lesson. Instead, ensure that the lesson is supplemented by the technology. The technology doesn't need to be the content. 2. Focus on how the technology you are using is maximizing the learning. In true integration, the technology gets lost in the content, meaning it shouldn't be the sole takeaway from the lesson. 3. The video doesn't have to do all the explaining. This is what the narrative is for. Use the narrative to let your viewer know the backstory, the content, etc. Use it to explain why you chose the video rather than solely depending on what it is on camera to do that for you. While you will surely share what worked in the lesson, don't be too scared to share what didn't work. Those things that didn't work are often where we can show the most growth. The technology leadership video will, in most cases, be your TTE. Remember, this video must show you presenting to a group of professional educators. The portion of the video that you choose to share should show how well-rounded you are as a leader. This is the video in which you can really put yourself on display. Along with this video, you must include a narrative. In this narrative, you include all the hows and whys. Tell the viewer all the information they may not have gotten from what they are seeing or just saw. Tell how you came to deciding on this content, and tell about how your journey to the point on the video they are seeing. As teachers, it is hard for us to talk about what we are doing well, but here you need to toot your own horn. You have to put that aside here and focus on all the good things that you are doing to lead your audience during the presentation. So while we're on the subject of the videos, let's discuss time limits. Each of the 2 videos, the leadership and the integration videos, are to be 10 minutes edited. This time requirement is just as it says. Don't make your video 9 minutes and 15 seconds and expect it to meet the requirements. To help with this, record lots of footage and choose your best 10-minute block out of all you have. The whole 10-minute segment won't be perfect, but remember, no teaching is perfect all the time. Don't worry and stress over a few little miscues, but at the same time, don't include a huge fail. Use your best judgment here. The career and professional development plan is the one that's probably going to give you the most trouble. It's hard to think about your future in technology when you haven't even finished the course. While it's understandable to feel this way, look at it like this. You've already overcome so much in this course. Where would you like for it to lead you? Do you want to pursue a career as a technology coach for a school district? A college professor? A technology consultant? This is where you can develop a plan to make those dreams a reality. Remember, this program will open many doors for you professionally. This is your time to put your dreams on paper. We've talked a little about the requirements, and now I'm giving you some tips regarding them. Now I want to switch gears and talk a little about some of the pitfalls that you may come up against. Footage. Not having enough footage. It's a whole lot easier to pull 10 minutes of footage from 60 minutes of tape than it is to pull it from 15. Don't skimp on the footage you record. It's better to have 20 minutes you don't use than to barely have 10 minutes to turn in. And get an SD card with plenty of storage space. Check the specs on the card and see how much HD footage it can hold. If you can, buy 2 of them and record using 2 cameras. You will have twice the footage. Pitfall number 2 is portfolio design. Choose a design that is pleasing to the eye. And don't choose a background or whatever that looks like color exploded on it or just seems busy. You don't want anything to distract you from the artifacts. And remember the CRAP principles. Create a CRAP checklist and use it to evaluate what you have created. Pitfall number 3 is don't get too cutesy. This is meant to be a professional portfolio. Don't lose sight of that. While it may be tempting to have a cutesy stuff all around, ask yourself this. What does it add to my portfolio, and am I losing the impact of my portfolio if I don't have it? Sleek, clean designs work well here. If you are unsure of what is expected, examples are provided for you. Use them as a guide for ideas, not a source of ideas. Don't procrastinate is pitfall number 4. Where did the time go? Don't wait until the very last minute to complete this. Rushed portfolios look just that, rushed. And take my advice, I've rushed some in my time. Take the time to start early and progress slowly through the creation process. The portfolio should make you shine. Don't settle for how it looks. Make it the best it can be. Pitfall number 5 is more doesn't always equal better. Adding more than is needed is something we all tend to do in creating portfolios. We want to show all we can, thinking the more we show, the better it will be. Well, not necessarily. By adding a lot of content, you are running the risk of using artifacts that aren't stellar, making your portfolio look disorganized, or losing the people who are viewing it. You want to give them a good taste of who you are and what you can do, but you don't want to stuff them. There is too much of a good thing. Find the happy medium and live there. If you're unsure, ask people to look at it for you. Take their feedback and make your product better. Pitfall number 6, let the portfolio do the talking. Let the artifacts be the focal point. I'm not suggesting that you choose the most minimalistic design that you can. I'm simply saying to choose a design that allows your work to be the center of attention. This is what your portfolio is, after all. Keep the navigation simple but elegant. Don't get bogged down in pages. Condense where you can without cheapening the work. And to wrap it up, I hope you were able to get something from this video. It wasn't very long ago I was right where you are and felt the same apprehension you feel. Don't worry, it's all going to be alright. You can do this. The program has trained you very well, and now is the time to show that off. My last piece of advice, start now. Put the time in to make this portfolio stellar. You don't know what it may help bring you in the future. Thanks again for letting me share with you, and good luck.